It is said that in this world there are some secrets that are better left undiscovered.
There are also some forces that we cannot see, but we can definitely feel.
Among them is a terrifying power that awakens once every 100 years. Today's story is about that very power.
Rian and Neha were both writers and were tired of the fast-paced life of Mumbai city.
They decided to find a house far away from the chaos of Mumbai and live there peacefully. In a small village in Maharashtra, they found an old mansion and moved into it.
The mansion was old, but incredibly beautiful.
The owner of the mansion had died, and since then, the house had been abandoned. That was the reason they got it very cheaply. Everything was going well. But one day, when Rian was unpacking his old belongings, he heard a strange sound coming from the basement.
When he opened the basement door, he saw an old rocking chair repeatedly hitting a large wooden chest on its own.
The chest looked extremely old and had a rusty lock on it.
Rian felt as if something inside the chest was moving. Unable to control his curiosity, he broke the lock and opened the chest. Suddenly, he felt a cold gust of air.
Inside the chest was a doll wrapped in red cloth. Beneath the doll was an old book with some torn pages.
On those pages it was written, Trigori, "Do not touch it."
This doll attracts spirits. But Rihan couldn't stop himself.
He slightly removed the red cloth covering the doll.
The doll had white eyes and a black body. There was something extremely strange about it.
So strange that Rian carried the doll and the chest upstairs into his study room.
But after that moment, Rian's life completely changed.
All night, he kept hearing strange sounds, like someone screaming in pain, calling out to him.
But whenever he opened his eyes, there was no one in the room except him and his wife Neha. One day,
While Rian was writing in his study, suddenly, all the lights in the room began to flicker.
Within seconds, every bulb in the room burst. At that moment, he heard someone screaming loudly outside the house.
When he went outside, he saw a black cat lying dead in a brutal condition.
after that day, Rian constantly felt that someone else was inside the house with them. The rocking chair in the basement kept moving on its own all the time.
Rian kept hearing screams everywhere. At night, he even started seeing the faces of dead people inside the house, terrifying faces that disappeared within seconds.
Confused and terrified, Rian told everything to Neha, but Neha did not believe him.
So Rian decided to read the book they found in the chest and uncover the secret of Trigori.
He spent all his time studying the torn pages and trying to decode them. His obsession grew so much that he started asking people around the village about Trigori. Eventually, someone sent him to a priest.
When Rian met the priest told him something that made the hair on Rian's body stand on end. He said that once every 100 years, a strange event occurs.
When Chatra, Amavasya, Chaitrapur, and Basaki, Amavasya fall within the same month, a terrifying dark power awakens. That power is called Tree. These 3 nights occur once every 100 years in April and bring destruction with them. From April 1st, Chatra Amavasya, to April Tigapulu, Baisakhi Amavasya. The entire month becomes the most dangerous month of the century. This period is called Kaal
Trigori brings with it a catastrophe capable of destroying everything.
The priest also told Rian that 100 years ago in that same village,
a woman who practiced black magic tried to awaken Kaal Trigori using a doll wrapped in red cloth. That night, an entire village of 500 people died.
Soon after, strange diseases spread to nearby villages and ruined countless lives. Terrified, Rian asked the priest for help. The priest gave him 2 black cats and said he would come to their mansion in 2 days to calm Trigori.
Until then, Rian had to perform purification rituals and keep the black cats with him at all times.
Rian told Neha that the cats would protect them from evil spirits,
But Neha could no longer tolerate Rian's madness. 2 days later, the priest arrived at the mansion with ritual items.
Seeing them made Rihan and Neha shiver with fear because they included human skulls, dead animals, and other disturbing objects.
The priest wrapped the doll in red cloth again and placed it at the center of the ritual area.
Without delay, he began chanting mantras to calm Kaal Trigori.
As soon as the ritual started, Rihan heard painful screams again.
Suddenly, they saw a terrifying 10-foot-tall shadow emerging from the wall near the gate and slowly moving toward them.
As the shadow approached, the lights in the house began bursting one by one.
Then suddenly, the door slammed open, and the shadow entered the house and vanished into the air.
Immediately, the entire house began shaking.
The 2 black cats started attacking each other violently until they tore each other apart.
Neha was horrified.
She believed the doll was responsible for everything.
In panic, she grabbed the doll without the red cloth, cut it, and burned it Italiano.
Seeing this, the priest began trembling.
He told them that Kaal Trigori could not be stopped this way.
And by touching the doll without the red cloth, Neha had placed her entire family in grave danger.
The priest was so terrified that he abandoned the ritual and fled the house.
That night, Rian and Neha had a terrible fight.
Rian couldn't sleep because the same 10-foot shadow kept appearing to him again and again, growing more terrifying each time.
The next morning, he heard Neha screaming.
She told him that during the night, her parents' house had caught fire and her entire family had died in the accident. Rian realized that Kaal Trigori had begun its destruction.
Soon, another shocking news arrived. The same priest who had come to help them was found brutally murdered in the forest. Rian was completely helpless.
Finally, he decided to burn the chest as well. But when he reached it, he saw something horrifying.
The black doll had reassembled itself and was sitting on top of the chest, staring directly at him.
At that moment, he heard Neha screaming again.
When he ran into the room, he saw Neha holding a knife, and behind her stood the same terrifying 10-foot shadow. Neha looked at Rian and began laughing like a mad person.
Before he could understand anything, she ran toward him. Villagers later said they heard the couple screaming for a long time.
When they finally entered the mansion,
They found the house wide open and the walls covered with blood-written words. Kaal Trigori, in the basement.
The villagers discovered the lifeless bodies of Rian and Neha. During the police investigation,
Rian's diary was found on his study table, describing everything that had happened over the past few days. But when the police searched the entire house, they found no chest and no doll. Only 2 words written in blood on the walls. Kaal Trigori.
so what do you think the mystery of Kaal Trigori really is?
And what will happen when it awakens again after 100 years?